What would you do if $100 million suddenly landed in your bank account at just 20 years old? Would you buy a mansion, travel the world, build a company, or blow it all before turning 25? Because statistically, most people who suddenly come into massive wealth end up broke within a decade. And we're not talking about small lottery winners. We're talking about people who inherited fortunes and lost everything. But let's say this time it's you. You wake up one morning to find a notification, $100 million incoming transfer. You stare at the screen. It's not a dream. Your late great-uncle, whom you met once at a family wedding, left you his entire estate. You just became one of the richest 0.001% of people your age on the planet. Congratulations! Or maybe condolences. Because the moment that money hits, your life changes forever. And not all of it in a good way. So today, let's find out what really happens when a 20-year-old inherits $100 million. We'll walk through the first 24 hours, the first year, and the next decade, how it could make you unstoppable or destroy you completely. Stick around till the end because the final part might make you question whether you'd even want that kind of money. And if you'd take the challenge, drop a like, share this video, and hit subscribe for more stories that test what money can really do to a person. The first 24 hours are pure chaos. You're not just rich, you're wealthy. The kind of wealthy where numbers stop feeling real. At first, it's disbelief. You refresh the banking app 5 times. You even call the bank, half expecting them to say it's a mistake. But no, the money's legit. The account is yours, $100 million. And your brain goes into overdrive. You start adding things up in your head. A Ferrari? Easy. A mansion? Why not? You could literally buy your own island and still have 90 million left. But here's where most people make their first mistake. The moment word gets out, your phone explodes. Relatives you haven't spoken to in years start calling. Your friends suddenly want to hang out. Some are happy for you, others see you as an opportunity. Social media finds out, and you go viral. Half of the comments are congratulations, the other half call you spoiled, lucky, or worse. Overnight, your life stops being private. Then the paranoia hits. You start questioning everyone's intentions. Even your best friend's congratulations text feels suspicious. And that's just day one. The craziest part is, you still haven't even spent a single dollar yet. But you're already stressed, suspicious, and sleep-deprived. So what happens next? Now that the shock is worn off, reality sets in, and you have to make the first big decision of your new life. Do you start spending, or do you start protecting? Let's see how that plays out. You've made it past the first 24 hours. You're still alive, still rich, and still figuring out what to do next. So like most people in your position, you decide to enjoy life a little. You buy a house, maybe 2, one in the city, one by the ocean. You finally get that car you've always wanted. You upgrade your wardrobe, take your friends on trips, and start living like every day is a vacation. And at first it feels incredible. You've escaped the normal world, no more worrying about rent, grades, or gas prices. You're free. But here's the thing about money. It changes how people see you. And even worse, it changes how you see yourself. You stop noticing price tags. You start tipping hundreds like it's nothing. And before long, you've built a lifestyle that burns cash faster than a private jet. Meanwhile, the vultures start circling. Financial advisors, investment experts, brand managers, wannabe business partners, all pitching ways to grow your wealth. Some are real, most are not. You don't know who to trust, so you take a few risks. Maybe you invest in a friend's startup, or buy crypto at the wrong time, or try to flip real estate in a market you don't understand. One bad move can cost millions. And the worst part is, you don't even feel it, because your balance still says $87 million. You tell yourself, you're fine. But this is how it starts. The spending feels normal. The investments feel smart. And before you realize it, your fortune is shrinking, not growing. So let's fast forward. You're now 21, 1 year into your new life. You've gained followers, lost real friends, and burned through more money than most people will earn in 10 lifetimes. And now comes the next big test, learning what it actually takes to keep $100 million. At 21, you've seen how fast money can disappear, but the real danger hasn't even started yet. Because now, you're not just rich, you're powerful. Money buys access. Suddenly, you're at tables you were never meant to sit at. You get invited to exclusive parties, private jets, quiet rooms where real deals happen. People start calling you boss, investor, visionary. You start believing it. And that's when the shift happens. You stop thinking like a person and start thinking like an empire. Your friends aren't just friends anymore, they're employees, assistants, or managers. Every conversation starts to feel transactional. You catch yourself wondering what each person wants from you.
And here's the dark truth. They probably do want something. Because money doesn't just attract opportunity, it attracts manipulation. A new romantic partner might be love, might be leverage. A business partner, maybe they see talent, or maybe they just see a walking ATM. The problem is, the higher you go, the smaller your circle becomes. You start isolating yourself. You stop trusting anyone. And soon, the money that was supposed to buy you freedom starts to feel like a cage. You have everything, but you don't feel anything. This is where most young millionaires spiral. They chase new highs, riskier investments, wild parties, reckless habits. It's not about greed anymore. It's about feeling alive again. And every time they slip, the money bleeds faster. You thought you owned the wealth. Now it owns you. But not everyone crashes. Some learn the hard lessons early and find a way to turn fortune into freedom. Let's see how that story plays out next. By 22, you've seen both sides of money, the thrill and the emptiness. You've lost people you trusted, made mistakes that cost millions, and started questioning everything you thought wealth would bring. And one morning, after another sleepless night scrolling through your investments and unread messages, something clicks. You realize the truth. Money doesn't make you powerful if you don't know how to use it. So you decide to start over, but this time with purpose. You hire a real financial advisor, not the friend of a friend who promised 40% returns. You set up a trust, separate your spending, and finally start learning how money actually works. And for the first time, you stop thinking about what to buy and start thinking about what to build. You meet people who don't care about your wealth, entrepreneurs, mentors, quiet millionaires who look like regular people but own half the city. They teach you that real power isn't in spending, it's in patience. You start investing in boring things, index funds, real estate, companies that make actual products. You learn about compound interest, taxes, and why 90% of get-rich schemes are traps. Your money starts working for you instead of against you. You build systems, not impulses. And as your net worth stabilizes, something unexpected happens. Peace. You finally stop chasing validation. You stop comparing. You begin to feel what you thought money would bring you all along: freedom. But here's the twist. It's not the $100 million that gave it to you. It's the discipline you built after almost losing it. Now, 10 years later, you're 30, still rich, still young, but finally in control. By 30, you've lived through a lifetime's worth of lessons. The money is still there, maybe even more than when you started, but the way you see it has completely changed. You used to think $100 million meant freedom, but freedom isn't about money. It's about control. Control over your time, your choices, and your peace of mind. And that's the one thing no amount of money can buy directly. Because along the way, you've lost things you can't put a price on. Some friends drifted away. Some family turned cold. You've learned the hard truth that people treat you differently when you have something they want. You can buy attention, but not loyalty. You can buy company, but not connection. You also realize that money amplifies who you already are. If you're generous, it multiplies your impact. If you're reckless, it magnifies your mistakes. It's a mirror, not a mask. So you start using it differently. Instead of chasing more, you start creating meaning. You invest in people, fund education, small startups, things that make life better for others. You build, not flex. And strangely enough, that's when you start feeling rich again. Not because of the number in your account, but because you finally understand what it's for. You once thought inheriting $100 million would make life easier, but now you know it just makes life louder. Every decision echoes, every mistake multiplies, every value gets tested. Money didn't change who you are, it revealed it. So what if you inherited $100 million at 20? You'd learn faster than most that wealth isn't the finish line, it's the starting point. The real test isn't how much you can spend, it's whether you can keep your soul while the world tries to buy it. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, drop a comment about what you would do with $100 million, and subscribe for more deep dives into the strange realities of wealth and power. Because sometimes the richest stories aren't about money at all. They're about what happens after you get it.